Good evening. How are you, Mr. Dan?
Melissa, I'm doing good, except for what I was mentioning to you earlier tonight, getting in that little fender bender, but no harm, no foul, nothing was damaged on my body, my truck maybe, but not me or the other person, so we're good to go.
Excellent. All right. Well, we have a special guest joining us tonight. We have Mr. Matthew McCray from the O'Brien Army. So let's just go ahead and bring him in and see what kind of goodies he has. Hello, Matt.
Evening, guys. How are y'all?
We are doing excellent.
Mr. Dano, sorry about your car.
Hey, no worries, man. Little damage to the front bumper is all, and it's all cosmetic. I'm sure if I throw some sandpaper on it and tape it and get me a rattle can, it'll look good as new.
Straight.
Good evening, Shane. Good to see you in here.
Oh, Brendan's in there as well.
Remember? And it looks like your son might be joining us.
That would be my kid tonight.
Like father, like son, or like son, like father, one or the other.
He's getting there. We're working on him for sure. They're always a work in progress, right?
I heard he had a new radio in his car.
He's starting to make a little noise. It's about that much. Maybe.
Good deal.
And maybe that much. I don't know. He does. We're working on it currently. Hopefully bringing it out to Slam.
Cool.
That would be excellent. I would love to see more people out to Slamology.
I got a ton of stuff that I'm getting ready for Slam for. So I'm talking 4 cars, but we'll see how it goes.
By Slam, it'll probably be 5, knowing you.
Hopefully not. Please. Please no.
Good evening, Natasha. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hadn't seen my girl at any shows lately. She messaged, I'm in detox. I need shows. Hurry up.
We out here. Where's she at?
She's up near you. She lives really close to you.
But we out here. Where's she at?
We got to go get her this time.
Some people are just too camera shy. They don't want to come on yet.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, we'll get to everybody one at a time. All right. So, Mr. Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
You were the first person in Dixieland to run deathmatch. That is the reason you are on the show tonight.
Woo! We stand on our whip and our voltage, so why not, right? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, did nobody seriously run it until I ran it?
No.
That's craziness, because it's like I've ran it 3 times now, maybe. Yeah, 3 times, I think. And I'm obsessed. I'm not even playing. I'm obsessed. It's like I almost don't want to run my other class now. I just want to run 3 minutes. I wish that there was a 6 minute so we could come out and run 6. I like to push the boundaries and see how far you can really take it.
So Orion equipment is hanging in there with you.
It is taking a pounding. Make no mistake about it. It is taking a super huge pounding. But it is hanging in there. I know that, like, I was the loudest I've ever been in Texas 2 weeks ago. And for being that loud, it's just barely breaking into the 155s, but for it to be that loud on something that's repeatable and do it with a voice coil former that looks like that. I mean, there we go. To do it on that, I did that at finals in October, and I've been playing them ever since until they just literally fell apart. So it's been an amazing last half of the year, to tell you the truth. But yeah, deathmatch, play as long as you want, and it's fun.
Yeah, and Peyton's
Good
saying it
evening,
right
Mr.
there.
Kyle. Good to see the van headed out and getting loaded up. That was a big deal for today. He had that van squatting with all that equipment.
Nice.
Can't wait to see this kicker build come out.
Yeah, 3 minutes is long, but as Peyton just said, yeah, not many could last 6 minutes. I don't even know if I've got a 6 minute track that you could even do a death match with, but I would be I'd be interested to see that from you. That would be fun.
Working on it for you right now, Dan.
Excellent.
Right now.
Because we'll take it.
I need a good editor. Somebody send me a sound editor.
I would tell you which one I use for my own tracks, but I think everybody already knows it because everybody, well, maybe not everybody, but everybody seems to know it anyway. But that is Audacity. It's free. It's easy to utilize. Make your own burp tracks. It's pretty nice.
Okay. Because I mainly don't play rebase music or edit it anyway, so that's nice.
This is completely custom. All I use it for, honestly, is like what we see with buddy Carlos that's doing probably some testing right about now, actually. I use it to get into those half tones. I don't always play 58 or 59 or 60 hertz. I'm looking for like 58.4, 58.9, 52.3. I'm not looking at the main frequencies. I'm cheating the microphone a little bit that way, according to some, but hey, if I can find an extra couple hundreds in there, extra couple hundreds is the difference between first and third.
Does anybody in the comments know anything about this sub? Because I don't have a clue about it. Never ran CT Sounds. Heard they were great products. Does anybody know about it? If so, reach out to Mr. Kevin Woods.
I know about them, but that's about it. I've never seen them in the lanes up here.
I've got a Tropo in one of my kids' cars that she's beaten on. It seems to have been fair.
There you go.
Good evening, Carl. You had a great weekend this weekend, sir. Matter of fact, the Samuel Skinner birthday bash, that was so much fun. That was probably my favorite show the second half of the year. That show was a blast. So next time we go down there, y'all need to join us because, yeah, we're making that one something where we can go back. Good evening, Mr. SPL Freaks.
There we are.
Oh, there's that box builder that keeps getting me in trouble.
He's a terrible guy for sure. Terrible person.
Box builders get a lot of people in trouble.
Oh, man, does he? He reads that rule book and he follows it to a T. Or our guideline book.
Yeah, we don't have rules, remember.
0. Not even the first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I sense somebody is live out there on some other stuff.
All right. Courtney is one of my normal lane runners, and he says he had a great experience with the amps, but subs didn't hold up. Ooh. But, you know, Carlos may be doing some testing on those because that is an 18. Speaking of Carlos, is he running a sub right now?
He is running right now. That's why I'm looking over here at my laptop to see what he's got. I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking at the comments. I feel like Billy here. I'm running like 8 things tonight that are just all over the place. but he is doing some stuff right now. He's got the sub sitting there. He does have John on right now from Audio Ace, whose sub he's testing. So it's been some interesting stuff, to say the least, for Gorilla Glue. And well, he needs to get some activator and some E6000 out there, but he's having some fun.
Flex tape.
You need some tape.
On that tape, I'm all about the CA glue and lots of it. Good evening, Miss Brittany. Good to see you.
Lopez ain't loud. He's got a quiet little Civic. Got silver tape over the trunk. He ain't that loud yet.
Man.
Like over the top of the trunk?
He might as well.
You got to be careful installing that silver tape. I didn't realize how many times that stuff cut my hands until I got something on them. It was paint thinner.
Yeah.
Like
your fingers and your hands apart. It definitely will. A rule recommendation. Ooh, I'm interested to hear what that might be, David. What do you got?
Okay, what you got? We want to hear this.
I'm going to tape him to his picnic table chair this summer and see how many beers we can throw down him.
Yeah, we need more rules. We love rules.
Oh, you in the wrong org for all that shit.
Wrong org, man.
Why do you think I'm here?
Oh man, we just want to be relaxed and have some fun.
Never.
All right, I'm waiting on these rule recommendations. Let's see what you got.
He doesn't really tape. He does not actually tape anything. That is true. I haven't seen any tape on a vehicle other than my own rear windows in mine, and maybe on a windshield that's already cracked and they don't want to send the whole windshield. But other than that, there are not many people up here that have to tape anything. We'll let a window just shatter out and go, but unless they got to drive it home, which I've seen that happen a few times with the tape on the windshield. But
I know a guy that drove a broken one home the other day.
There aren't much. Yeah. That's kind of up to the judge, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. My shows are smaller and it doesn't seem to matter. But that could be something that could be discussed in October, because we only do guideline changes once a year. That way we're not changing anything mid-season. That is one of our biggest things. We will never change anything mid-season on y'all. But just so everybody knows, be courteous in the lanes. If the lanes are backing up, get your run in, pop up a score, go fix something, come on back.
Yep.
It's free reruns for a reason.
Dave, you want to follow Beasley into the lanes then, because by the time I let his 30 seconds expire and get his name and the next track done, he's already ready and waiting for me. So you need to follow Beasley in the lanes, because you'll be there, and after his 3 or 4 classes, you'll be in and out in 3 minutes, guaranteed. And of course, now that I say that, Brian will do something different this year with whatever he's building that I've seen pictures of. So otherwise, yeah, follow Beasley into the lanes or follow Carver. Those guys, they're always ready, which brings up something about it. If you're not ready when you get into the lanes, what were you doing in the lane? You're waiting for everyone else ahead of you. Make sure your stuff is ready to go as well, because that's seemingly part of it, I think, as well. How much?
And what kind?
So I was running 192 amp hours of headway earlier in the season, but I've currently swapped to 87 amp hours of step cell skibs, the step terminals, and bump charging voltage up to 15.4. It's pretty solid. I've actually got one more 29 amp hour bank to build to bring it to a total of 118 amp hours, and we're probably going to leave it at there for the time being.
You get the Chuck Wagon out of TikTok Mobile Audio Network.
Girl, you got some of the best people in the world to teach you how to do a burp. Brittany is Clay Ward's girlfriend, fiance, better half, and she has got some of the best people around her to teach her how to do this. I have no doubt she's gonna come out swinging next year.
If she puts 2 more burps together with that, she can come play with Deathmatch. just need 2 more.
That's kind of
you're in.
It's reminiscent of Booger in Revenge of the Nerds Part 2, Nerds in Paradise, with a 3-minute burp.
Hey, sometimes a 3-minute burp is what it takes.
Every once in a while.
Ooh.
All right. That's a big one.
Ooh.
If you've got your own meter, you can do the testing, and that's how you win.
Yep.
Can't win if you don't test.
This is true.
Good evening, Mr. Brent.
Always beneficial to have the right tools there. And one of them is a term lab or SPL meter, not the one on your phone. Those are so far off, it's not even funny. But get a good meter. Get something from Mini SPL Lab. Get term lab. Test. Know what your car is going to do. Take notes, like I have said on here hundreds of times. Take notes and write it down every day. Test it today. Test it at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., 8 p.m. Yeah, just test. And David, 712 is happening. Tajan announced for me a couple weeks ago when he said it on here, and a couple other people know the exact date, but I know I'm going to get it wrong.
Pulling it up now. It is the weekend of June 14th, 15th, and 16th, I believe.
No, July 12, 13, 14.
Date change.
Yep, because we are 7/12. We got to have it around July 12th, and it is 12, 13, 14 this year. So we do have dates for it. Yeah, Brett, I would kind of agree with that as well. I have seen it get off a little bit. I would rather have term lab myself just because I'm more familiar with it. The SSA stuff is nice as well. And if that's what you've got, it's going to be relatively accurate. Won't necessarily be the same, but it'll be accurate enough for it to get it done.
I've got an SPL Mini, and it's within tenths of my term lab.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what.
Fabulous little piece. Just don't let it get hot.
No, that's one of the things about it is if they do get hot, they get off really quick. But the what Jimmy uses for his circle of bass at 712 boom that we do every year up here, we get a bunch of vehicles. In fact, most of the vehicles just sitting right around us, and we'll get in a circle of about probably 30 or 40 foot diameter, and everybody will play toward Jimmy or Sonia or who's ever brave enough to sit there and listen to 40 cars all at the same time playing the same song, and or in this case same frequency, and 30-40 feet away we're doing 135 137 dB of like 43, 44, 45 hertz.
That is like the ultimate crowd loud. That is so perfect.
It is because, again, everybody at minimum, I've taken a video of it. I think I posted the video of it from last summer. We were all about 30 feet away from him. And I walked over toward it, and the meter's reading like 137, 138 at like 40, 41 hertz, something like that. It was always a good time to do that.
All right. While everybody's here and we have people in the comment section, let's everybody pray for Sonia and Jimmy. Sonia has lost her mother, and we all know that's not easy to go through. So all we can do at this point is pray for the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I saw the post on that on Monday morning, I believe, after Sonia had posted it. And always tough when you lose anyone part of the base community, but worse when it's direct family. And prayers out there for Sonia and Jimmy right now, especially for Sonia. Never a good thing. It's one of the hardest things you can have to deal with. I know
Yes, it is.
I dealt with it for about 10 years after the loss of my father here 10 and a half years ago. And I still deal with it every day, but I got a good picture of him and I remember the good things about it. So hopefully that's what Sonia's able to do for her mom as well. So.
Well, let's just pray for some comfort for the family.
Definitely.
Absolutely, they are. We couldn't do this stuff without them. Especially not without Sonia. Sonia keeps us all on track in one way or another.
She'll tell you if you're out of line. And she will have no problem yelling at you louder than Jimmy on his microphone if you're out of line.
Oh, it's even worse if she whispers it at you.
Oh.
It usually is.
I've never been on that end of the conversation, but I've been told yes that it is.
All right. I'm seeing some really good Orion equipment back there.
There is nothing else in this house.
I know. I know. All right. So hold up this amp for us. We want to play a game with the audience.
Which one you want?
Not a good one.
Under the table, over the shoulder.
Silver one over the shoulder, please.
Over the shoulder it is.
Cover up what it is because the first person to name what this amp is will get their Base Wars membership paid for this year and the decal that is behind Dan.
There's the good half.
Who can name this amp? Just cover the name of it, show them how big it is, give them a good idea what it is.
It is an Orion, we know that.
To the amp.
What amp is this, y'all? Let's test some Orion knowledge up in here. Oh, it's getting quiet.
My God,
We got old school people back in here.
we've almost lost the whole live audience feed.
Oh, look. Uh-oh.
Mr. Arcano. We'll turn
All right,
around.
Fred, you let us know. We'll pay a lane fee for you since we know your Base Wars membership's already paid.
I will do that.
That's the stuff.
That was my idea there, Brett. I will get you taken care of on that one, sir.
I'll get you a decal, sir. Yeah, we knew you were, and you weren't allowed to play. I was just curious to see how many people would know what that was.
I had a couple good guesses in there. I like the HCC 2200 that Dustin put in there.
I wish it was a 2200. That would be the most original, unique thing I've ever seen in my life.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a 2200. I know they made the 2250.
He's probably talking about the red 2100.
I was going to say, I'm thinking you might have the red 21, which is probably back there on your shelf as well, Matt.
It's actually not on my shelf. It's further back in the garage on my garage system.
There you go.
I have a 2100 that runs my garage sub and a 250 HCCA that runs my mids and highs in the garage.
See, that answer is dead on point.
There were a few of those back in the day.
Yep, the 1 watt wonder. Woo.
Yeah, and I already told him if he pulls into the lanes with that, I'm calling Billy. I want no part of class in that.
It's just 1 watt. It's cool. Don't worry about
it. It runs cool.
I'm not loud. I mean, it's only 1 watt. How loud can I be? I mean, I got 2 of them, but I mean, still 2. Well,
that's a whole new efficiency game, but I'm putting you on a clamp.
Carlos probably tell you he'd tell you exactly what 1 or 2 watts does. You know, be like 147-ish or something.
I'll put you up against deck power any day. There we go. That'll work.
Oh yeah.
See, one hell of a deck to do that.
Class with that, I don't know. I'm confused. Don't know which way to go on that one. We call him Billy.
It's not a power adder, I promise. It's not like a turbo or nitrous. It's, you know.
It's naturally aspirated.
All the sauce.
The 3/4 of a cup. We'll go with 3/4.
Where's the gain on that? Oh, it's, you know, quarter of the way.
I mean, I could be David Cook. I could be David Cook at 1/4. I mean, we can do 1/4.
Well, a 1/4. Well, let's see. 1 at 4, 2 at 2, 4 at 1. You know, keep doing the math, and you know, we could do that.
It's 1 watt at, or it's half a watt by 2 for a total of 1 watt at 128 ohms.
Hey, how's Carlos doing with that sub? I'm dying to know.
We've got John on the phone on the screen right now talking about it a little bit, and he's got a 108.26 pointing in there. Thank you, Jimmy. There you go. This is the Jimmy, by the way.
Yep. Anytime y'all want these decals, that's called the Jimmy Pittman. Y'all order it just like that.
It's not, might not necessarily be, you know, this big, but
no, I think they're 5-6 inches.
Get you something that's, you know, you can get it tattooed across all your knuckles, and you know.
What are we getting tatted on the knuckles?
Just send, and then
Orion. What else?
With your thumb sticking out.
Like, and do it like this. So the thumbs are on the bottom. Just send it.
Something like that.
I like that. I 100% support that.
For anybody who's keeping up with the Carlos Challenge, you can go on the Baseworks website and see the 1 sub challenge and see how they're all stacking up. We would love for y'all to weigh in on this. And if you have a rare sub that you want him to test and don't really want it back, send it. He'd love to test it.
That's definitely for sure.
Y'all know I'm going to tell him, go.
You might have to wait a while for him to get to your sub, but allegedly the list right now is somewhere around 20, maybe 25 or 30 different subs that companies have sent in. Tonight happens to be John Hart from Audio Ace, and they're doing the Jester 18.
Man, those sound so good at Chevy Blacks. Man, he like to have ripped all my hair out. I was really shocked with how much power they had, considering in the videos it doesn't look like the subs are moving that much. But in real life, it's just a freaking tornado hitting you. It
I
was
think it's
quite amazing.
I think it's really that the subs don't look like they're moving that much because everything else underneath them is moving, and on the side, it's like everything but the subs move in that car.
Man, I saw he had to put another windshield in it.
I love that. I love that.
I have no idea how many windshields that boy has done went through, but I know it's a bunch.
I know you see one every night when you see their setup sitting in there because it is an old Delilah windshield that they use for their tabletop. And speaking of Carlos and Jessica, they just ended their stream here, so I'm not sure what was happening because I had my volume turned down on it. But
all right, one of the comments earlier said the sub blew at 178. But just so everybody knows, that is a really, really good sounding sub, and it is made for demos, not for this numbers game.
No, definitely not for the numbers thing that Carlos is doing with it right now. We've got
y'all need to know he's giving these things hell.
Beating the hell out of these things with 20 some odd thousand watts of power most of the time. So
we wouldn't do this to it in real life. He's doing the things we just want to try.
Speak for yourself.
I'd send it if
I won't do this to a sub.
If my guy comes out with his experiment amp later on this year, maybe this spring, and I happen to get a hold of two of them, I'll run them in my Festiva. I'll see what it can do. 25,000.
There's another one of my senders.
I was going to say, yeah, David and I happen to know a Recone guy or two or three that are in the area.
I just finished mine last night.
Yeah, that's right there, man. Yeah. Some subs just aren't good in a sealed or a fourth. They got to be a little bit more, I don't want to say direct or delicate with them because they're both the right and the wrong term at the same time. But some subs don't work that way and others do. It's going to depend on what you got. Do that testing.
It really does.
Get that testing done.
It is up to us to pick the correct enclosure for our subs. And that was a lesson to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get loud with the wrong enclosure.
You can, but they won't like it at all.
No, you're going to be buying equipment every weekend. But we live, we learn, and we pay heavily for our mistakes. I would rather watch somebody else do it and go with tried and true.
Man, I don't know. Pay to play. Got to pay to play. Cost to be the boss. I mean, all that whatever.
All right, now you out here, David, cooking it.
I had a good teacher, man. I mean, I just kind of watched him for a little while, and he did his thing, and I got inspired. Definitely inspired.
Yep. Enclosure and sub content.
Mm-hmm.
Pair them together. They're not bad. Pair them in the wrong vehicle. It can be really bad.
Not matching your electrical to your amps and subs. Yeah, that's really bad too.
That can be terrible.
Man, low voltage is the worst thing for our equipment. Got to get that power on point. You cannot play out here without good power. Good Lord.
And I think that costs more than anything else you're ever going to buy. I don't care what equipment you buy. Your electrical will cost every bit of your equipment.
Electrical is key. As David is saying right there, haven't blown any subs on a 35K yet. I would say that is a very unlikely statement for most people out there. Dave's system, I know, has not done anything with that. He's got power and then some. He doesn't have to worry.
Oh, good question.
Ooh,
Salt 8Ks or Crossfire 4Ks?
yes.
I'm gonna lean toward them Crossfires. I'm quite happy and impressed with them.
But you're not going to bring up the 8K SPLX, which would probably run them.
Hey, just so you know, and just so I am held to my word, if Matthew hits a 60 this season, the amps in my car will be red. We're going Orion if he hits a 60 for me. That is the deal I made with him, and I'm going to hold to that bet.
I'm not going to do it for you. I won't. I'm going to do it for me, and I'm going to do it at Slam.
That's okay. I don't mind swapping. I don't mind swapping a bit. If you can get a 60, I'm right behind you because I need a 62.
Oh, you're coming in 2 points up. I see. Okay.
It is what it is.
Get them. Get them all.
I brought this up in the past once or twice with other judges, and we need to have a judges only category just so that we can all shit talk against each other.
Hell no. Jimmy and Billy are both building right now. I don't want to play.
My car is naked right now. It has the radio and it's got the two 4-inch JBLs in the bottom of the dash pointing at my knees, but that's it.
Now,
so I got to see what they do. Then
I told you what I told my wife, that I would never judge, but I would judge the judges. So y'all organize all that, and I'll press the term lab start, and we'll see. Run your system, not your mouth. Both of you.
I can't run my system. I keep blowing subs.
That's not that. I mean,
that sounds like you're not testing enough.
That's how I blew the sub. I figured I would test on the way to a show and blew a sub. It was like, damn, I heard that. You know how you hear the dust cap start letting loose and it makes that crinkly noise? Shit. Oh, that's right. We got another judge that's loud too.
That's right. Tony's in there. He could do it.
I don't want to go up against his mids and highs either.
Oh,
maybe he can play Demo Wars good.
With what you sent me about an hour ago here, Melissa, I'll go up against him with his mids and highs.
There you go.
Mids and highs metered on the table.
Did y'all see what we did to Samuel Skinner for his birthday? We posted him at a 99.
It was a 97.77. But that was
the funniest thing ever.
Meters.
Happy birthday, Samuel.
Happy birthday, kiddo. Because good God, 97.77 on the table, mids and highs only. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to play with the Vegas style boys either. I ain't loud yet. Ooh.
Oh yeah, Greg and Stacy. I forgot about them. They could do that as well. Get some East Side Tennessee action in there.
Yeah, Greg's gonna come out with a power wheel and whoop us all.
Well, get your own power wheel. I mean, you fit in it.
You ain't right, man. You ain't right at all.
Man, you took that joke right away from me, man. I was going to say, does she have any other vehicles other than a power wheel? But, you know.
She posted something earlier, and it had some bouncy houses on it, and she was talking about it should be somewhere, and I was like, don't lie. You're being the bouncy house.
Hey, speaking of, laying in the shade in Mississippi, they've got bounce houses, the Mechanical Bull, and they're giving us a whole island to play on. They're sending the base heads to the island. This is going to be a great weekend show.
Are we going to get a ferry? Does it come with a
No,
ferry?
you can drive across to it.
Oh,
What, like Tinkerbell or what?
no, like a car ferry. What? Put some
All
wings
right.
on the ride.
All right. So, Matt, what is loud to you?
Hmm.
At what decibel do you consider it loud?
There we go. There's Carlos.
I consider it loud when it's unbearable. Now, several versions of loud. JP's stunt wall across the parking lot, that's loud because it's just it's so loud you can't even talk to the person next to you regardless. In a car, painful would probably be what I consider loud. So like anything like really extreme, maybe that would be loud to me. Of course I run jackhammers and equipment and all kind of craziness at work, so loud is kind of, I guess, relative, but it's relative everywhere. If you're just chasing numbers, then hey, welcome to 155. I guess you can say you're loud. Woo. It's just another day of me beating it down the block, though. So,
Hey, Carlos, do you want to come in and tell us about how the sub did tonight and what the next ones are going to be that you're going to be testing? If so, you're more than welcome to, sir.
and is your box big enough for SPLXs?
Yeah, we got questions.
I got all the questions.
We got lots of questions, not many answers.
I want to know if there's a pride on that list. Oh, I want to know so bad.
Can we ship you a case of, Gorilla Glue or?
Yeah, how can we help? What can we send? We need Gorilla Tape. Do we need CA glue? How can we help you with your challenge, sir? Because, man, we love watching it.
Yeah, and along with those numbers here that we were just talking about, what Courtney just put up, happy with a 150 in the console.
Yes.
I got to think that a lot of people are happy with, again, with setting, if you're setting a personal goal and you're doing a 140 and you want your next goal to be a 142, that gets to be loud. Then your friend comes along and Matt pulls up into the lane next to me and he does a 145. Well, then I want to do a 145. It does become not necessarily a friendly competition most of the time, hopefully, but it does become what is loud is what the person who beat you is doing sometimes. And Carlos right now is the person that's getting me really interested in finding out what can I do that would be loud. And some of the numbers that I've seen Delilah doing over his little thing he's been doing for about the last month or 6 weeks or so right now. Loud is definitely subjective, but damn, Carlos is loud regardless of whatever is in there. It doesn't matter.
Man, I would love those.
All I'm going to say about that with Carlos right now.
Yes, man. Just feeling the power coming off of Delilah when you're metering him in the lanes. It's forceful. You can feel what feels like electricity all over you. And I wasn't within 6 foot of the thing. And see, I like little systems too.
Yep, that too.
I'm all over the map with it. I like anything from a 1 sub build to, Delilah. Yeah. I would be happy with anything through that range. As long as we've got base, we're good.
And again, those numbers are somewhat subjective. Michael, you mentioned, or Matthew, rather, you mentioned you work with jackhammers all day. 125, 120 on a jackhammer sound all day for 8 hours. That's really, really loud. You do 125 in a car. 125 is loud for a stock system, but it doesn't sound like 125 compared to a jackhammer. So it is somewhat subjective as well that way.
Maybe it's also the resonance and the frequency that it actually puts out.
Yep. If you're listening to a home stereo, even the best home stereos, even the loudest theaters out there, they're generally not going to get much over about 110, maybe 112, 115. So again, subjective. But if it's loud enough for you, or if you're sitting in the front row, as my uncle did one time, and uncle sitting in church, he had to turn down his hearing aids because he couldn't hear the pastor, but he could really hear the choir. It's all subjective. You got to turn it in what kind of atmosphere, where are we, what are we doing with it? So many things will.
It's about like just picking somebody up off the street who's never been in a bass rig before.
Yep.
And just annihilating them. It terrifies them. But you can get a bass head in there and, they're just chill, waiting on more.
Yep. It is all perception.
Release the clippings.
All right, Mr. Slinky.
Yep. And again, as I'll kind of determine here is what Scott Voss just put in there. It's loud, but I need to just give it to me just that much more. Just not necessarily one more notch, but get me a little bit closer to it. Get me a little bit lower. Give me a little bit higher. And then it's loud. But then give me a little bit more. And after that, again, just a little bit more. That's when you think 140 is loud and you want 142. Then you want your 145. Then you want your 150. Then you're hooked at that point.
Good evening, John Earl. Man.
What's up, kid?
That's an excellent demo.
Dan, if you ever see him out anywhere, please get in his vehicle. You want to.
Yes. And he will not tell you no because the thing never gets hot. He never quits. He's just demo lane.
There are a few out there that I will get into hesitantly, but not many of late. I can think of one or two maybe that I probably would not want to get into, but I will. But again, there's a few out there.
I've got a list of about 10 that I'm not ever going to get in. Carlos, let's see. Man, there's a bunch of them out in California.
If you're bolting the door, I'm probably not getting into it. However,
if I have to climb over, I am out.
I'm not getting in anything with bolts. No, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, no bolts. I don't care if you strap the door. That's even worse because you might get hit by extra shrapnel then when your window lets loose.
And I've also noticed one other thing. If it does not have an inside door handle, count me out. I'm done.
Run for your life.
That's happened to me a whole bunch of times with these no door handles inside. She would put me in there and say, send it.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
Bolt discrimination. Absolutely.
It is.
Man.
That's kind of one of the vehicles that it's Navi's is borderline. When I crawled into his, not last year at 712, but 2 years ago, and got in kind of the fetal position down in the kick and held the mic there. It was very unpleasant.
You're brave.
And he's done work since then.
I got in Paul Nasher's thinking it was going to be windy.
Oh God, no.
No.
It's painful.
And then I found out he can play lows, and it made me even madder.
Yeah, if you're looking for a vehicle that'll do the hurricane class, which for us is 0 to 19 hertz, for anyone who's curious, you can find that out in the guidebook, basewars.org, and the guidebook. I don't remember what Paul was bragging about, but he said he was doing a 163 or 164 at one point at like 17 hertz. And someone said, prove it, and streamed it out from 25 feet away. Paul was next in the lane at 712 here a couple of years ago, and he didn't have to prove it. He just walked in there. Just 166, I think, or 167 at 17 hertz. It was brutal to watch, and I wasn't even near the vehicle. But yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah,
it was unpleasant to sit in, to say the least.
There's no award for it yet, so I don't want any smoke either.
Actually, I am making an award for y'all, and we're going to call it the Matt.
Aren't Stacy and Greg the Great Smoky Mountain region or the Great Smoky region or something, Melissa? Don't they have a smoke
I think they
award
live
already?
in Newport, Tennessee.
Okay.
Who's that?
Greg Kelly.
Oh.
Greg can get the Smoky Award. We can get you some, make some type of a small little canister, 3D print a smoker or something, if you let the smoke out of your subs.
Needs lights in the bottom and an engraving.
Yep. We could do something like that. Maybe I'll make something like that. I'll think about ordering up a 3D printer just for that.
That's one thing I haven't ordered yet.
Might have to do that. I was looking at what you sent me again last week for the CNC and the cutter and everything. I've got some ideas.
I'm having a blast with this. But it's a whole learning curve.
Is Jenkins going to come to Assassin next year? What?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Come on, boy.
Assassin can be a brutal class, man.
Man, Assassin really is.
I don't want to be in that class, but doesn't mean you can't play in it.
Hey, I'll play in any class. I don't mind losing. I learn something every time I lose. It's usually I need more money, more electrical, and better amps.
Always electrical. It's always electrical.
Isn't it? The voltage moves a tenth, and we feel like we got to redo electrical. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, his doors don't bolt shut.
Do they have door handles?
Probably not. I see what he's on.
That's because they're welded shut already. You crawl in through the window.
They're welded shut. Why do I need bolts?
You don't need bolts if they're welded.
Oh, he says it has door handles.
Awesome, we're in.
Someone's in.
You don't know those California boys. Don't take that bet.
Oh man, can't be scared.
That whole team is scary. They pull up and the meter even gets scared.
Well, I mean, that's the meter's problem, not mine.
There's another joke in there somewhere that I can't say in mixed company. And by that, I mean that, Lopez is still in here.
I see your team out there too. Y'all are loud. There's certain teams you know who those people are, and you know damn well they're just all loud. Just all of them.
Takes a team to get loud, though.
Yes, it does.
You can't learn by yourself.
Mm-hmm. That has been
really does take a whole team.
It definitely takes a good team to do it. And it's not just one person on the team that knows all of it. It's one person knows a lot about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And other people are much more focused on one specific thing. That's key. Plus,
I like all the
big team with 8 or 10 people on it, 15 people, 20 people sometimes, just for one vehicle. That will definitely get you loud.
That is the best thing about being on a team. You can trust your team for advice. We can go on the internet and we can ask questions. Half the time they're going to lie to us on purpose. Not everybody is your friend online. They're going to give you some bad advice, but your team never will. Your team's going to help you out.
Haters are always jealous.
The right team.
The right team, yes.
Mm-hmm. As you say that with your left hand.
Well, I mean, I'm holding the important coffee juice in the other one, so.
Same thing. And yeah, having a big team definitely helps out. You get one person that knows subs and enclosures, you get another person that knows the vehicle. You've got to have probably someone that's a mechanic on your team as well when your vehicle breaks, if it breaks. Paint, body work.
Somebody who does sales.
Suspension, especially if you're doing something massive. It's not like you can roll in by a 1500 or a 150 of whatever vehicle it is in a van and walk off the lot and expect it to hold 10,000 pounds of audio equipment and caps and batteries and subs and a steel cage. You got to take it to the suspension shop too.
I had to learn that shit the hard way. Oh my God.
RIP those springs, that's for sure.
Yep.
Man, the whole rear of my car shifted due to the weight.
Yep. And power as well. And I've mentioned this before that, just because you got a 300 amp alternator in your car doesn't mean all 300 of that is going to your system. That's great. But got to remember that you replaced your stock alternator, which took up 130 of that. So you're only getting 170 to your system. That extra 130, that still has to go to your car. So keep that in mind as well, folks.
Unless
airbags,
you're stuck with a
suspension, battery, making power, interior stuff, deadener. You got one guy that loves to install deadener, keep him on your team. You got one guy that likes to Jeremiah, one guy that likes to fart in your vehicle. Yeah, well, keep him off your team, maybe.
I don't know. Will he gain me an extra 2 dB in the car?
Oh no, I think he can blow that out of there pretty quick.
It depends if it's Chicken Shack or not, I guess, out there. We don't have Chicken Shack here in the upper Midwest, so I don't know.
I know a lot of people who are able to run with their car off. That would be so nice. But, we got people out there like Joe Price who can't run with his on.
I like 14.6 volts. I don't mind running at 14.1 if I have to. Oh, there's a possibility in there, David, that Other orgs don't allow you to do anything special. And I'm going to just use that term as special in your car, that you got to be able to see everything that you're doing. I've heard a rumor, and I'm just going to call it a rumor because I haven't tested it, but that if you open up a can of Coke or Pepsi or whatever, you open up a soft drink in your car and you hit the mic at the same time, that you're guaranteed a 150. Something special about a frequency. So when you say you torch a flare gun, kind of made me think of that for some reason.
Great. Now we're going to be out here testing that.
Okay, so 380 with blanks.
A 380 with blanks would work.
All right, y'all, keep it to car audio. Let's not be giving people any ideas.
Maybe not.
I've got enough people getting me in trouble as it is.
I would not use blanks in my car. I will not. I raise my right hand on it. I will not. The smoke will be too much. Burn ceiling. Can't do that.
Matthew, I didn't even ask. What do you normally run in your car? These people don't even know. They just know you're on Team Orion Army.
So, like equipment-wise?
Yes. What do you normally run besides all this rare stuff you have around?
So the rare stuff doesn't ever get run. Right now, it's like it's shelf queen or trailer trash or whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of sitting there gathering dust until I can actually get it in. Normally what I'm running right now are a pair of regular HCCA 15.4s for the last couple of months. I've had 15.2s, which are the dual 2 ohm and the dual 4 ohm, respectively. So I run a pair of 15s in a 4th order. It is a giant box that sits in the car. It does go in and out of the car pretty quick, but it is rather large. Most people kind of frown on it, but it fits and it ships. So can't complain. For my amps, I've got a pair of HCCA 5Ks that I run on my subs, and I've got an older from the, I would say probably 98, 99 era XTR 800.4 that I run on my mids and highs. My door speakers are all Orion as well. I'm currently using the NT6 components in the front and the NT5 components in the rear. So I'm actually not using the tweeter in the rear though, just the mid bass driver. So I've got 5 1/4 mid bass drivers in the rear doors, and then 6 1/2 in the front doors with the silk dome tweeter, all in factory location. So it's all hidden.
Nice.
Yes. For Demo Wars, he runs welfare class.
I try and run welfare. Nobody ever shows up though. So I'm like, I've almost given up hope on welfare and then moved on to deathmatch. So it seems kind of comparable there. You just kind of throw one away and go to the other one since nobody will run it.
Yeah, we don't typically get a whole lot of big shows where Demo Wars can be ran down here in the South. My shows tend to be 20 people, and that's about it.
And everybody's got like multiple drivers in the door and stunt wall and stuff. It really makes it hard for me.
So if anybody will challenge Mr. Matt to Demo Wars, feel free.
Feel free. Catch me outside. Catch me outside.
Yes, Demo Wars is going to be lit. And so is Team Wars, because, man, we are preparing.
I have a feeling that is going to be fun.
I cannot wait. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry, man. I was just playing, Kerr. I'm playing. I ain't got 28 hertz. I'm out. See you.
Kerr would jump up here right on time. Man, that was perfect. And for everybody that don't know who Kerr Davis is, He was our stealth and ball splinter for this year.
Oh, just doors.
Oh, he's coming after you.
That's cool. We're gonna
He's
meet her on the
after
table.
your teammates.
Let's meet her on the table. You down?
We can lift Melissa's car onto the table.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
I think I left my micro machines at home. Sorry, Dan.
I didn't. Mine's at the shop. It only weighs like 1,800 pounds.
Okay, this is
Plus
an
better.
excellent
Oh.
question. All right, Eddie. We have 48 classes plus demo wars. You can find the answer to all of this at www.baseforce.org. And you can also find your membership there for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need any help figuring out which classes you could possibly run, message any of the judges or the Base Force website, because Mr. Dan will be up in there to help you out.
You take care of that quite often.
Hey, I got to run off frame for a sec. I'll be right back.
And speaking of that, as I'm looking at everything here right now for people's memberships and other things, you'll notice over the last couple of days that the website, well, we did make a change to a couple of little things on there. Carlos and Jessica have been doing their single sub stuff, so we've got their results on there. But the Facebook pages have seen quite a bit of activity over the last couple of days because Billy has finally gotten a computer mishap taken care of and has been, well, I've actually talked with Billy twice in the last 24 to 28 hours or so, and that's the most I've talked with Billy in about 6 months, to be completely honest, because whenever we talk, it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes of this or that and the other thing, and we're done because neither one of us goes on a tangent too much. But this time, both of us did a little bit. Billy's got his computer back up, so the Facebook page and Twitter account or Instagram, whichever one is the one I keep seeing everything on lately, they're getting updated quite a bit recently. So if you were waiting on something other than your finals awards, which we still don't have done yet, but Billy's got the computer up and running, which has the blueprints or the plans for them on there. We're getting those taken care of as well, but you'll notice a lot more activity in the next couple weeks, couple months, as far as events are concerned, and when and where, who, a lot of good things. The difference on there, Eddie, I can't tell you the difference because I don't ever look at their stuff.
I don't know the USAC rules. I can just explain to you what the Base Force rules are. Message me after the show, and we will have a discussion about what is possible for you and your vehicle. We would love to help you out in any way we can.
You guys want me to take this one?
Well, kind of. Yeah, because, to get you the generic explanation of that, Eddie, is the difference between us and them is they're a different org. They're IndyCar and we are F1, if you want to talk racing stuff, or they're the USFL and the NFL versus the whatever the thing that McMahon put on a couple years ago, the XFL. All the
we
same
can put it simply,
style, but different categories, different classifications based on what we like versus what they like versus what someone else likes.
I've never ran USAC myself, so I can't even give an opinion. I would love to, but I can't.
Lopez. Don't talk about
I'm
baseball.
just a Base Wars judge. I can help you out with our stuff and get you going in our lanes. I can even help you win in our org, but can't help you with anything else. But the main difference between us and the other orgs is we don't believe in all the rules. We believe in some helpful guidelines just to get you going. And from there on out, it's on you. It's all skill and knowledge testing. That is on you. All right, let's see. Good evening. How are you, sir? And where are the trophies at? Billy is working so hard. I promise y'all, and they will be well worth it. They're coming. Just not here yet. Oh, that's another loud one. Mister, I don't like no glass in my vehicle.
Nobody likes broken glass in their vehicle.
Gosh, he must love some broken glass up in his vehicle because
Although
I'm sure he is still finding it from Slam.
That's rule 1.1, David.
Yeah, obviously, rule number 1 is don't talk about base wars.
Yes. I came up there first from Lopez. Rule 1.1, go by term lab. Rule 1, don't talk about base wars.
Okay. What is this I'm hearing about getting certified to do recons? I have never heard this.
No such thing.
Michael, you want to come on and tell us about this?
It's like asking a farmer to get certified to grow grass.
Hey, can I drive
All
this
I know is
tractor?
cut them out, put the new ones in.
And make sure that they don't rub.
Sir, we do appreciate your interest in the organization. I promise we're going to get you going in the lanes. We'll find you a show that's close to you. And you will more than love Base Wars. Because I don't know anybody yet that has run our org and not loved it. All right. Give me 2 seconds and I'll get you going, Mike. Because I want to hear about this.
According to Terry. Which Terry are you talking about?
Who is Terry?
Ah, okay.
All right, sir, I got you. You're welcome to come on at any point in time. Because Mr. Michael Moore has one of my favorite children out there. Miss Bella is our superstar. They added her to our team, and honestly, I was dancing. Oh my God, I loved it.
The kid's killing it for sure.
Man, isn't she though? And she's doing her own work. He is teaching her the proper way. But I'm curious who Terry is and how do you even get legally certified to do a recon? Because this sounds like BS.
And who's certifying him?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hey, Mike.
Good to see you up in here, sir.
Recons are all the same. Don't worry about the price on it, David.
Man, I worry about the price on recons.
I know people that spend more on recons than I spend on actual subs.
Good evening, Reginald. Good to see you.
And I don't mean my Rockville that does 160.
Mr. Reginald Russell's over there in Georgia. And man, they building some gorgeous old schools. Oh man, his wife has a fleet of them at this point. All right.
A fleet, you say?
Hey there. How are you, sir?
I got sent a message with some screenshots about it. This guy jumped on a friend of mine, Matthew Whisper. Can't remember the last name now. Because I'm seeing Matthew McCray on here, and
it's Malloy. I know him too.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I was close. But he got on there and he started going off on him, telling him he wasn't certified to recone and that his work is garbage and that you got exactly. That's what everyone's like. What do you mean certified? Where did that even come from? Certified.
Who's gonna certify me to put my drop ins in?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously, bro.
He's the only one who can certify you.
Well, I mean, I just
2024,
bolt
he's
in.
going to start shutting down shows to go through vehicles and inspect them to make sure that.
Oh, I freaking dare him.
Recone or something. I don't even know. Like, he's going to shut down the show. You can't do your runs until I make sure your sub's certified recone.
Is this for a certain brand or?
He said it's for anybody and everybody reconing subs or reconing for customers or whatever.
So recone anybody's Orion right now. It doesn't have to be mine. I'll recone it for free. Bring it to me.
Here is.
Man, how would we all get by if we didn't get our subs reconed at home? I'm not giving my stuff to anybody to have it reconed. I'm going to either take it to them or just do it.
Right? I'll just do it.
I have.
It depends on what it is.
In front of me, it's funny.
And this guy got to the point where he started like physically threatening violence against Matthew and everything. Like he was getting so heated. He said he's going to shut his business down and he's going to make sure Dumb Loud gets fined for every little thing they do. And it's ridiculous. I couldn't believe that. When I first seen it, I was like, hold on, I had to Google it just to make sure I wasn't right. I was like, there's no such thing, right? I just got to make sure. Where did this guy come up with this? Certified to recone.
Okay. Is he with a certain company or?
Nope.
Not that he's mentioned. He claims that he's been, his brother, I think, or something, has been doing it since 84 or 81 or some stupid shit. And that he's about to take over for him in 2024. And so he's going to be cracking down on everybody out here doing all these garbage recones because he's seen their work and they look horrible.
Okay, well, let's just put him, the Clue, and Chris Lee's van and just take care of this.
I go from this.
Oh,
I think he something about he only likes to run JL or something like that. I seen somebody said something about that.
Okay, this is absolutely hilarious.
JL explains it right there.
Yeah. They're like, who even runs JL anymore? Well, maybe some SQ guys.
Well, I will say this. I can't recount a JL to save my life. Something about those subs, I get them tappy every time.
That's why you need that certification. Got to get certified, Melissa. That's how it is.
Sure.
So, what's Miss Bella up to?
Della, what are you doing?
How is her superstar?
Oh. Well, Base Wars, everyone wants to say hi. Melissa wants to say hi. You want to sit up for a minute?
Oh, you didn't have to wake her up.
Oh, she's not asleep yet. Hold the phone. Here, I'll turn on the light for a second so they can actually see you.
Poof.
I am so proud of how great you have been doing lately. You've been amazing. Just know all of Base Wars is proud of you. Oh,
Ooh, that's pretty.
oh. All right, we can't hardly hear you, but no, we're proud, okay?
Okay.
We love you, darling.
You got oh, shoot.
Oh, Bella, did I tell you? You've got to go get certified. That sub you reconed, it wasn't legit.
Was a supper actually blown?
No. Some guy says that your subs aren't good enough to recone unless you're certified. You certified? The look on her face.
Show me your license.
She's as confused as we are.
Where's your
Certified,
credentials,
maybe.
Bella?
I don't have one.
You don't have one, but yet you still recone, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing is the wiring inspector's coming out.
Oh,
It's gonna happen.
She done went back into YouTube.
Oh, please. Please stay out of my car, Mr. Wiring Inspector. You don't want to see that.
God,
Yeah, I've got might have one or two little spots they don't need to see, but for the most part, I keep mine looking good.
oh, mine looks great until you remove one of the panels.
right there. That's my electrical license for Sioux Falls. You come and take a look at my stuff, kick you in the ass on the way out the door. That's what I think of his subwoofer thing as well on there. I just read it. That guy is so full of crap on there. I will
you
call him
see
out.
it?
Mm,
It
Good
is
evening.
it's hard to read it with a straight face. It's like there's no way this guy is serious, but he was.
Man, I got to keep that
Like,
on there. I might have to
that's
share
our-
that in the Base Wars manager stuff because it's a funny read for 30 seconds.
It really is. And he's posted it up like he posted up one last night, and then I guess it kept going late into the night and then on today, and he posted up another one today where dude was getting real violent and threatening him, and I was just like, man, this guy
That's
doesn't
gotta get out on
quit.
the
He just
Reddit
keeps
so we can all
going.
see
And
it.
it's funny when you said Declue, because that was the problem. I was like, man, he's like the Deku of recones.
No,
Oh man, we just
I don't think the clue's even that starved for attention anymore.
no, and at least he's got a great build coming.
Oh yeah, he's been doing a lot better, and he ain't always getting on
Yes, he
everyone's
is.
posts and talking crap. And
He's been
mellowed
doing
down a lot.
excellent lately. I
Maybe
will
somebody
give him
finally
that.
got through to him, like, hey, dude, the only reason you get people talking to you is because you're always getting on there, starting it and keeping it going, and just drop it and leave it alone.
Drama. Gotta have it.
He was all about it.
Drama
Well,
is on Facebook.
Now he's learning. Let your build do the talking.
Right.
I love it when they learn.
Every so often they will.
Drama is
Just
key
so
on
everybody
Facebook.
knows, that was a joke earlier. I would never harm anybody.
Chris Lee would. Just jump in his van. You'll find out.
Oh yeah, he'll rearrange your insides in a heartbeat.
I remember
Put
a
your
few
seatbelt
years
on
back
and
when
get
he
in the
was in
van.
Slamology, there was a guy that just wouldn't tap out, and then they ended up calling an ambulance for him later when he got out and was like, he was all fucked up.
Oh, I thought he had a heat stroke.
I'm not sure what it was. I just know it was shortly after he got a demo from Chris Lee. Next thing you know, they end up calling an ambulance for him. So one or the other, maybe a combination. I know I felt horrible after, but it was a long weekend, and I went to get a demo in Greg Corbin's truck.
Ooh.
And I was looking at it, and Steve Barber was about to get up there, and I was like, yeah, you gonna go get it? And he's like, you're small, you should climb over the hump. You want to do a demo over the hump? I'm like, sure, why not? Oh man.
So
Yeah, I climbed over that thing, didn't realize what I was getting into, and Greg's all the way at the back of the truck on the ladder with the radio, so it's not like he could see me tapping anyway. And Steve's sitting right on the edge of the doorway. And he gets to getting it, and he goes full tilt. And he said he went easy on me and did like 38 hertz or something like that. Man, it didn't feel like you took it easy on me. I swear, once it got going, I started getting pulled and pushed up against that fucking hump, just slammed against it. Oh, my chest was all sorts of red. And then later on, like an hour later, my head started pounding. I felt like I was going to puke. And somebody else was like, you know what happened, right? And I was like, I need some more water. He's like, no, you got your brain scrambled in Corbin's truck. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, maybe, I guess. It messed me up.
I went all the way to Vegas, and the only thing I wanted to do was just sit in the door of his truck while he was nowhere near it. I did not want a demo. I just wanted to see the truck. And so I waited until he was gone.
Getting on the other side of that hump. And Steve, I was already on live. And when Steve's like, come on, jump over there, I was like, yeah, well, I'm already on live. I got to do it. I can't say no.
What? Listen, the only time that's going to happen for you is when he's gassing up the tow rig. You have to crawl up on the trailer.
Well, he accidentally left his ladder out. And between his ladder and me being able to pull myself up, I made it up in that truck. But I look like Mario trying to get up in there. It was bad. All right. We have people in the comments I can't see.
Same here.
Like, there's a bunch of them I can't see.
I've had that problem before.
Take the 8 motor and you shrink it down, you have the 6 amp motor. It's all kinds of the same engineering.
Math. Whoa, what? Oh, okay.
See, they got a whole conversation going on over here that I can't see half of. And I'm about interested in it.
I was like, what is going on down there? Got a heating pad on your ribs? What happened to you, David?
Yeah. He was involved in an accident. He got T-boned.
Oh, okay. I seen that. I got so many people on my Facebook. It's hard to keep up with everyone's names for every incident that happens.
Yes.
But I did see something about that where he got T-boned, and yeah, that looked horrible.
I saw in a comment that you were building another Power Wheel for your son.
Yes, we are. Well, not another one. We're rebuilding Bella's, the old one, the red truck, little fire truck.
Yes.
Yeah, we're rebuilding that one for him because when she first started on her new build, Zaya was getting in her old one, and she just kind of looked, and she's like, well, you know that's going to be your truck. That's your truck now. And he was thrilled to death. And then it didn't have the money to get a new battery, and so it was put on the back burner for a while, and then we just recently got a battery for it. Now, if it wasn't so cold, every time I try to get him so we can go out there and do it, and he's like, no, it's cold. I don't want to go out there right now. So hopefully, because I ain't trying to do it for him, just like with Bella. I'm not going to do it for her. I'm going to help her out and guide her where it need to be and let him do it.
Okay, well, does he need any equipment for his Power Wheel? We have a lot of people in this group that might be feeling generous as it's near Christmas. Does he need anything?
So far, I got in there and did a scan over to see what all, because it's still got the Hutchinson Origin 10 in it. It's still got a, unfortunately, it's a 2 ohm, but it's got a Taramps MD 3K. And the Origin is a D2. So either I wire it down to 1 or up to 4. So it's wired up to 4 because we tried wiring it down and the amp just kept kicking right off.
Okay. Would you rather have a new amp or a new sub?
Well, we're thinking about we've got there's nobody around. I've got some things in the works with Bobby to get Bella set up for a new upgrade. And when we do that, we might end up, if I can make them fit, we might just try to take those 4 and put them in his.
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
and then they both be running Gately.
Oh, and I didn't even congratulate you. You got a new job here recently.
Yep. I just went to go and get a pulley for the truck because I finally figured out why I kept throwing belts. I found a pulley that the belt barely even touches. It just runs past it. But it had a little bit of wobble to it, and it was letting the belt walk back. And it would walk back a little bit and then pop up on the side of the alternator pulley, and it would cut through it and blow the belt. I was in there, and the manager was just slammed, and she was stressed out, and she's talking about how she's got to have her people going out on drives because nobody around here has a license, and she needs drivers, and she can't get anything working right, and she just took over the store. And I'm like, well, I've got a license, and I got a real basic knowledge of all sorts of auto mechanics and parts and stuff like that, and I've been coming to this AutoZone for years. I mean, she's like, really? And how's your driving record? I was like, well, it's clean. I haven't had anything since at least 2016. And even then, that was just getting hit by a drunk driver. Wasn't my fault. She's like, bet. Okay, I'll get you in right now. So, well, let me go to World Finals with my daughter first, and then I'll jump into it. And sure enough, as soon as I got back from finals, I got the application in, and I went up there for some oil, and she's like, oh, I seen your applications in. I've already got it going through. All I need you to do is get back on your email and redo this, and we'll have you in there. And my wife's like, oh, I don't want you to work full time. Just get a part-time gig. Work like 2 days a week. They ain't got no people. And everybody that's seen that I got hired on as part-time, they're all laughing. They're like, yeah, good luck with that. I'm fine with working more, but my wife's not.
What, 60 hours a week for us?
Well, for them, their hours for the drivers is supposed to be 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we don't get a lunch break. But I mean, it's not real strenuous either. You're just basically, you get there, you get clocked in, you might throw a few things on the shelf before orders start coming through, but I'm working on the commercial side. So I don't even do the front desk or any of that stuff. I just grab parts and take them to all the random shops in the local area. Sometimes I might have to run to the hub or the mega hub to go get other parts and take them to other stores or other shops in the area. But basically, for the most part, I'm just in and out all day driving a company vehicle and on the road, which I'm down with that.
Sounds familiar.
Not too hard at all. I mean, I didn't even realize it was already like 4:30 before I started realizing I was kind of hungry. Come walking in, one of the other guys that just showed up brought in some pizzas. Grabbed a slice, got back out on the road, kept going for the rest of the day. Today was my first full day.
Let's have this discussion. Dan, what do you do for a living?
What I'm doing right now, absolutely nothing. However,
what do you normally do for a living?
Up until about a week ago, I worked for a company that I would drive 14, 15, 1,600 miles a week. I did not stutter when I said a week. I bought my little Honda Fit last year with just under 100,000 miles on it. I have over 185 on it right now in 13 months. I would drive all over South Dakota, Western Minnesota, repairing computers.
Oh.
Matt, what do you do for a living since you've been in my house this week?
So I'm a plumber and gas fitter. I own a plumbing company, do service work, new installation, renovation, craziness, pools, just all kind of stuff.
We're on some shit now. I'm not letting him change that. I'm on a little project.
Yep, I had to call Matt out because my upstairs shower was raining into my downstairs.
Hey.
Not a good feeling.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Oh,
I tried to get my
man,
landlord to come redo our tub
tub.
because I've noticed that whenever the kids get a bath, within 30 minutes or so, the tub has already drained itself almost. I went in there and I started looking, and I thought there was some hair on the side of the tub. No, the whole tub's cracked. Now I'm afraid to stand up in there.
Gotta say, that was my problem.
I'd be a little hesitant to stand up in something like that as well, man. That
Yeah,
would
I
not
went
be a
down into
good
the
thing.
basement and they've got braces underneath the tub, which surprised me because, usually it's just there. But either way, I feel like that crack had to have been there for a while and I just haven't really noticed it. But at least it's not like on the bottom. But at the same time, it makes me nervous because it's right along the side, like 3/4 of the way up. So I feel like if that thing starts growing around any more than it already has, the tub's just going to try and drop down.
Is it a fiberglass tub?
I think it's just a plastic tub. I don't even think it's fiberglass.
Ooh.
It's cheap.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
No, it's not. And I've told the landlord, and they're like, "Oh, that's fine. It's not that bad." So, they had to do it.
Well, holler at your boy. I'll come get it taken care of.
Right. Oh,
And
they
see,
told me I'm not
that's
supposed to do
teamwork
any
right
kind of
there.
repair on the house myself. I guess they had somebody in here doing repairs or in one of their houses doing repairs and thought that they were going to get money knocked off rent or whatever and this and that. So they put out a thing that says that you're not allowed to make repairs on the house unless they approve it and this and that.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the place the reason we got in this place is because they told us that after 2 years that we would have the option for rent to buy so we could get the house. Because the only reason we got it was because our old house had just burned down out of nowhere. The meter on the back of the house just went up in flames. And I was working third shift. I had just got to work when my wife called and said, "It's all gone. Everything's gone." I'm like, calm down. What are you talking about? The meter, I checked the camera and the meter just big old spark on the back of the house. And then smoke started rolling up and then the camera quit working.
Wow.
Fired
So
up
the
right
meter
up the back
caught
of the
on
house
fire?
and it hit the attic. And as soon as it hit that dry attic, it just went through the whole house like tinder.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't imagine losing my whole house.
Yeah, and that's what we lost everything. That's the reason why the wrap, the hood on the truck is cracked up so bad because my truck was parked right behind my house. And when I flew home, I tried running in and the firefighter stopped me, but it was like right at the back door where my keys were. I was like, just let me there's power lines above my truck. You don't know how much money's in this truck. Let me pull it back and out of the way. They wouldn't let me.
Didn't you also have a tree fall on your truck?
Yeah, that was more recently.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wasn't for
Luckily,
bad,
the
was it?
truck is built extremely solid because, I mean, that tree, it hit the roof and it exploded into pieces. And there's not even a scratch or dent on the roof. I got a little bitty dent on the driver's side where it originally hit on the top of the C-pillar. And then on the passenger side, there's a little bit bigger of a dent on the back corner of the C-pillar in the same area. But it's not that bad. For the size tree that fell on it, nobody'd even notice.
There you go. Well, that's okay. You done went through all the run of bad luck. Now we're going to usher in some good luck for the new year.
Well, part of my Christmas present to myself was getting me them new amps. Got them XT 16Ks in there, and now the subs are actually coming alive.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, once I got the $12,000 back for insurance to repair the truck, me and the wife got into an argument over it, and she said, "You beat that truck to death with your bass and audio all the time, and you're really going to take all that money to get the body redone on it when it's just a little bitty dent that ain't nobody going to notice." I noticed it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you can deal with it, though.
I wasn't going to win the fight. It was an uphill battle. She wanted me to take care of Christmas and bills and everything else and give her a break because she had been paying everything for the most part because I haven't had very many audio installs here lately. And so I was just like, all right, might as well, fuck it. And then right after I caved and said I'll do it, 2 or 3 days later, I seen those 16Ks get posted. I was like, all right, bet. Since I ain't spending the money on fixing the truck, I'm going to spend it on upgrading the truck.
Hey, Matt, does that sound familiar? Just a little bit.
Sort of, but not really. I mean, I would probably fix it, but I would take the insurance money for the shop to fix it, and I would fix it myself and then pocket whatever's left over.
That's what I still plan on doing. I ain't spent all the money, nowhere near it. But either way, I've got a couple people on my team. One of them, his wife works in a body shop, and we're going to get out there and pull out the bigger dent. The only reason I haven't jumped on it yet is because of the truck being wrapped. I'm trying to get set up with a different wrap company because I don't want to rewrap it the exact same thing. If I'm going to rewrap it, I want to do something different. Finally change it up a little bit, but still kind of keep some of the same theme, but still change it up.
Man, you should paint that thing. Be a man. Paint it.
Man, ain't that just like a teammate to rag you?
Right? That's exactly.
They let him be.
That's what my job is. My job is to rag you until you do better. I mean, the difference between a teammate and a hater is a teammate does it from the heart, and a hater just wants you to be, whatever. They want you to fail and paint it and quit being a cheap ass and paint it. No. Teammate pushing you to do better. Hater wants you to fail. So whatever.
That's how I'm always doing with everybody on the team. Our little your local noise complaint team. Did you guys see that score? My friend Kenny hit me up, Kenneth Fannin, and he's like, "Hey, I just got told by a friend of mine that there's a really nice box over at the Indy U Pull It."
Oh, I saw that.
I was like, "Okay, well, what kind of box?" He's like, "Well, it's a fourth order wall." I was like, "We ain't gonna be able to pull that out." He's like, "No, it's a slide in. Send me pictures." He's like, "We'll go up there Saturday," and this was on a Wednesday or a Thursday or something. I was like, "Screw that! No, we'll go up there tomorrow, and I'll go up there and I'll get that thing out. We'll figure out how to get it out." I get up there and check it out. It's a sixth order, and I mean, it looks like it's built with Baltic birch. It's fully stained, all blue, and then epoxied over it, extremely thick, like it's full mirror coat. And it wasn't mounted in any way. We got in there, and I immediately jumped right in the center and lifted up and got the whole box to wiggle a little bit. I was like, "Bet, this thing ain't mounted. Let's go. Let's get this thing out." Me and two other guys got it out of there, and it was super expensive, like $49.99.
Oh God, that hurts.
Yeah, it was hard to haul it.
It hurts my feelings.
The guy who originally built it said he sold it for like $1,200. And then the guy who lost it, I guess the guy who lost it, poor guy, he was like, "Come on, sell that box to me." Because I was trying to get the info on the box. I guess he had locked the engine up in his Escalade, and then he went to California for a couple weeks. While he was in California, his stepdad sold the truck with the wall in it and everything. And so by the time he got back to town, it was already gone. Everything. He said he's been looking for it ever since, and he couldn't find it. And then to hear that it ended up in a local scrapyard and somebody got it for $50, he was very sad.
Was the equipment still in it?
Not by the time we got there, at least. You could tell when we got there, somebody had already ripped the hatch off. They took it off from the top, but they couldn't get it off because it was a Escalade, so it had the electric latch. And they couldn't pop the hatch. So they took it off from the top, and I don't know how the hell they got it off from the top, but they took it off at the top and couldn't get it off at the bottom. We got in there, and I immediately broke out Sawzall, and we cut the D-ring for the latch, and we only got one side of it. And then I got up on top of it and started kicking on it and slamming on it until we got the other side to break. We got that hatch off of there real quick. Got inside. Everything was gutted out inside. There was only one seat left, the driver's seat, and it was laid all the way back, which worked out because I used the bottom of the seat to help, push it back and brace myself. And then as I got further back and got further away, I moved my feet up to the headrest because it was laid all the way back and just kept pushing that thing back out of there.
Man, that box was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I would have loved to own that.
Yeah. Kenny, he really he lucked out with that one. I mean, I seen it. I was like, man, I'm paying for the $50. I might as well just take that and go put it in our little family vehicle. He's like, "No, you're not going to do that to me, are you?" No, I'm not. My wife would kill me anyway.
You can't wall the family car.
Exactly.
Why can't you? I have.
Well, because not everybody is you.
I'm sorry, I don't own anything with more than 2 seats in it.
I
There's an
don't
option for
My wife
4.
got the Flex, and it's got 3rd row, and I mean, we could have fit something in there.
Woo. 3rd row. High
All
class.
right.
High class.
That's it.
Anything I ever had with a 3rd row, that 3rd row was gone before I ever had a chance to even think about it.
Yeah.
What's a 3rd row? That's cargo room for bass. That's audio room.
Yep. And it's already got a box.
Right. That thing, I mean, I couldn't believe, and he told me it was a 4th. We got out there and seen it with a 6th. It's like, dude, you have no idea how big of a score this really is, man.
Oh man, that box looks so expensive.
Yeah. And I expected it to weigh a ton, and it wasn't that bad.
Well, Berg's usually isn't. But that looked like a 4-man box, just to be honest.
Yeah, we got it with 3 of us. That and
Then you got
the
lucky.
little cart that they have out there at the junkyard. It's got 4 spare donut tires and a metal frame. We got it out, and we had to destroy the Trailblazer that was right behind it because they park them back to back. So once we got it slid almost all the way out, it was sitting up on the bumper of the Trailblazer behind it. We ended up having to break the wiper off, break the little brace for the wiper arm off. We had to break a few things off of the Trailblazer just to make the room to get it out the last 1.5 inches. And then me and the bigger guy, William, we got on the one side and we just lifted it up to kind of roll it over right into the little cart. And it worked out. We got it into the cart and was able to pull the cart in between the vehicles and back out into the lot. Man, the look on everyone's face when we went walking into the front office to go and pay for it, they're just looking at us like, where did that come from? What is that?
Just so everybody knows, I have found some really good audio equipment and pull aparts.
I have too. I remember a while back I found back when American Bass was first coming out, they had there was 4 VFL paper cone 8-inch mid ranges, and I got them for $5 a piece. And they were like,
it's stuff like, wiring.
Yeah. We expected to find
with
wiring
me.
in that thing, but like I said, somebody had got there first and tried to get that box out because it was stripped of anything audio everywhere. And you could tell it was stripped in the junkyard by the way everything was cut and ripped out. You got pieces of wire everywhere from where they ripped it. Couldn't get it cut all the way through from the grounds and stuff. RCAs that were just the heads of the RCAs from where they tried ripping the wire through and it got caught on something. They just ripped it anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Why even try to get some RCAs if you're just going to rip them apart anyway? I mean, waste your time.
Okay, well, everybody, we have been on here almost 2 hours, and we still haven't went over what shows do we have coming up.
We haven't. Because I've been too interested.
Too far away for us. We've got until March.
That's a local issue. If you got to wait till March, man, you got to get in touch with us because we can help you out with that.
Definitely.
I was talking to Brandon. He was like, "Well, we're done till March. We'll put some new shows on." Oh, well, I guess.
Come on, Brandon. Make that money, man. Get out there.
All right. Just so everybody knows, I have a show coming up on January 6th that will be in Decatur, Alabama at Six Pockets Pool Hall. Jane Winchester's birthday. Yeah. I like doing those shows.
Is Billy going to be there? Is he going to bring a stick?
Oh, God, I hope not. Well, I don't know. I may need him.
Heard he's a little hustler out there.
Billy can shoot some pool.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. He's good.
It's been years since I even played. I used to own a pool table. Because
Yeah,
I
it has
had a
been a
bachelor
very long
pad,
time
and it,
since
it
I
was just
had.
part of it. You had to have a big stereo, you had to have a big leather wraparound couch, and you had to have a pool table.
Or a foosball table.
I was 17, 18. It was my first house. I had to have everything.
All right. Bubba, you ain't missed much. We're just talking about this wonderful box you're going to build for David Jenkins, to get him to that 160 mark out of the trunk. No big deal. Nothing at all.
160. I've seen that in person with some 1C. It ain't that. It's not impossible.
It is not, and it's shocking.
Chad Gleek, he's doing it with 215s, two Crossfire Neo SPLs, and just a little bitty Sound Digital 20K.
All right, Mr. Mike May. Yes, sir. You can have that date. That is Anniston, Alabama.
Boom.
These shows just come rolling. I told them, hey, we're booking shows. Get with your judges now. The longer we have to promote shows, the better.
Only other show we got coming up.
There we
got
go, Bub.
nothing this weekend
Cakewalk.
because it
All
is Christmas. Next Saturday, we got one in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Oh, that's supposed to be a killer show.
That's gonna
Matt, you're going to that one, aren't you?
More than likely, I'll end up attending for sure.
Yeah, this is one at the North Circuit Wireless.
Trying to get my certification, qualification, rehabilitation, whatever issue, something for
Moving violation
match. Trying to get all of those in, so I'm finals ready.
I think he's finals ready, and it's just January for deathmatch.
I mean, I'm trying here. I'm trying.
I would, but that XB's kind of gutted right now.
That's not our fault. Do better, coach. Look here, Captain. Do better.
You better jump on it.
No, a girl's broke and she needs amps.
Talking the talk, can't walk the walk.
And sometimes things have to sit until you can afford the good shit.
That's what I keep trying to tell Kenny. Because poor guy, once he put subs in that box, he, about 3 demos in, one of the subs gave up. I got back there and was looking at him, and he had 3 dang near black coils. I was like, well, it ain't got to do with the box. He's like, no, that box is too big. No, it's not. That box is just fine. Your subs were already burnt up, man.
But mine come black. I feel discriminated against.
Well, mine come pretty, well, I don't think they're quite black, but they're dark.
All right, Dan.
Yep.
This one is a you question.
Yes, we will. It will be an email from Billy, and it will be copied, hopefully, to your local or localist judge, most local judge, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
I get them all the time from my guys up here and gals that are finally buying their memberships. But Billy will send you an email confirming that.
And that brings me to another thing. Just because you have a membership number from last season doesn't mean that carries through to this season.
Nope.
Oh, you might get a new number?
No, you get the same number, but you do have to pay for your membership per year.
Annually.
I've got a lot of people giving me last year's membership numbers. Oh.
Nope, that's not valid no more.
All right. What you got, Mr. Paul?
Paul, send out a list or post it on the.
He's got the good stuff.
This gives me a
Post
chance
it on the Base Wars buy and sell page.
Yeah.
We do have that, and nobody ever uses it. So let's feel free to use it.
This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
So whose fault is that?
Oh.
The answer is I'm sorry.
Wait, no, that would be.
Don't point no elbows or
The
nothing.
answer is I'm sorry.
That would be all of our faults because we don't actually promote it that much. It's It is
Yeah.
an official Base Wars buy sell page that if you have something that you want to buy or sell, put it out there.
Yeah.
And it literally is Base Wars buy and sell.
It
And
can
if you
be
don't trust the
anything
person,
from an amp, batteries to
Yep.
whole base rig. We don't care. Put it up. Let's sell it.
honestly,
Nice.
with some of the other pages that are out there, and I'm posting this just for myself, if you don't trust the person that you're selling it to or buying it from, like I'm buying something from Matt, but I don't trust Matt. Melissa, can you hold on to it? Give it to me, and then when I pay you, you pay Matt, and that way
Mhm.
he trusts you, I trust you, but we don't trust each other. If there's ever that kind of a thing on it,
I would be
send it to me. I will hold on to it until I get the money or until I make sure that you got the money.
I see a
I will
bag
provide shipping,
rideable
everything, whatever. You need
Um,
it, we can get it to you.
in the bag.
For Ying Long sales, David Jenkins has
Well, the one
one bank for sale, and it is inexpensive. And I'm coming to see you soon, so
reasonable.
there you go.
Cash talks, baby.
He rides on
Absolutely. And that's another thing. Let's not let our equipment collect dust. If somebody needs something, sell it to them. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, I
Help
hate
your brothers out.
people's got stuff up and then they don't even answer back. It's like, are you trying to sell it or not?
And man, I can't stand dealing on Marketplace.
Either that or the one response that you get to, hey man, I'd really like to come check out this amp, and they're like, okay, and then that's it. Nothing ever again.
Yeah, that's just as bad, if not worse, because you actually, okay, I got a response. We're good. We're going. And then they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Or you
They
get in
weren't-
the car and go to meet them and they don't show up.
They
And
Oh,
then
man,
won't
I had a guy that
respond.
wanted to buy one of my XS8Ks, and he's like, all right, I'll be coming through tomorrow. I'm going to meet this guy to buy my Salt 6 tonight. I was like, all right. Didn't hear from him the next day. The day after that, I hit him up and was like, hey, so what happened? He's like, dude, I drove all the way out 2 hours to go meet that guy. And he just stopped answering. He never showed up. He told me he was on his way, and that was the last time I heard from him. Damn, that's dirty.
If you got something like that from a Base Wars person that you know that you find something, like I say, send it to the judge that's local or send it up here to me. I will make sure that it gets between A and B.
Definitely, you know, and if you have somebody that you need to know about, your Base Force judges know who these people are. We talk to them at every show.
Mhm.
They're all pretty much regulars.
Yep.
I've seen
And
this
if they're
kid
not, then, well, yeah, that's probably someone you shouldn't be doing business with.
That's right. Your Base Force judges can help y'all out.
Yep. I'll tell
Because
you
there
that.
is a safe way to buy and sell equipment.
Yeah, because sometimes even when you get references for people you don't know, that doesn't actually make it reliable.
True.
It might make
All
it
right.
a little better, but not quite.
Does anybody in the comments have any questions for either of these men that are joining us tonight? No, you can't sell the #1 car. Oh my God.
Oh,
So are
no.
we talking Orion since Matthew's
I don't know,
here?
man.
Are we talking a car?
Like what brands do that do?
Okay, my heart just sank. We can't be doing all that.
I mean, I'll do 54s out of the trunk, whatever.
I would love to own it.
It'd be fun. It just moves too much. Won't, all over the place.
Paul, I say this with the greatest respect for you, man. That's not your only problem.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh, David's on him.
There you go. We appreciate that, man.
We already talked about this.
We ain't doing this.
All right, David, you send me the stuff that Kerr wants, or Kerr, you send me the stuff that David wants. I'll keep it all and ship it off to Melissa, and then we'll ship it to Billy. Then they'll ship it to Jimmy. via
Charges
Stacy and
get out
Greg,
of control.
then one of you will get it. Probably not the right one, but
Send me
we'll
that
make
one
the round.
watt. I want to see this.
You want to see 1 watt? I'll
That's
tell you
it.
what. At Slamology, I'll give you a whole 4 watts. That's it, just 4. I'll give you all 4. That's all I got.
Well, Paul better flush the toilet.
Well, is that a stereo 4 watts, or is that like 2 watts?
That's what Ryan one was. We ain't playing with him. I don't want to hear all that.
Everything is for sale.
Ooh.
Isn't that thing gorgeous?
Oh man, it is. It's been a while since I've seen one of them in person.
That's one
All
of
right.
4.
Matt, do you have one of her amps available to show?
Yeah, let me get it off the shelf real quick. I'll
Please.
try not to drop it.
Wipe the dust off.
All right. This is Wifey's special amp.
Oh,
Man,
Since we're showing off all this Orion goodness tonight.
look how careful he is with this.
I just had a guy joined our team, and I'm pretty sure he's got it might be 12s, but he's got 2 Orions in the trunk. And he's like, I'm only doing a 48. I was like, how? What are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I'm wired up to 4 ohms. Oh, well, wire it down.
always
All right.
wire down.
Pop
Always
it up
wire down. So this is my wife's. This is her sub amp. It is stupid gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I
And the
love this thing. And that is made in America, baby. So this is probably the prettiest amp that we own, even over the concepts.
And it come factory like that?
This is factory, sir.
Oh,
that purple.
They also come in red for the XTR series. There's an NT 100 and there's an NT 200. Both of them are dual monoblock. This one is 100 by 2, and then the other one is 50 by 2. But they are much, much more. These were the Orion sound quality beasts of the day, and they run. They also come in the XTR version, which is not purple, but it's red marbleized, and it's from the factory that way as well. Sometimes with the sun fade, they look a little brown. But it's the same amp in either chassis, just a little different tooling on the heatsink.
yeah. Should come with paper towels. Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, her build will be debuting at Slamology.
You will want to come see this.
Matthew McCray is bringing 4 builds.
Thanks for that. I appreciate that one.
Yep,
And
we're holding you to that.
big pressure tonight. So,
you better get that Orion Army behind you.
Oh, so was that you saying you're gonna get something built in the tow rig too?
I might. Well, see, my son, my wife, my new bass rig, and then my daily. And then if I do my tow rig, then it's 5.
Might as well keep it one hand total.
As long as
What are
the
you
tow rig
talking
has
about? We got
a
two
wheel
hands.
on it.
We got 2 hands.
Well, then shoot it on up to 10 then.
Well,
Matthew, can you
No.
get with Mike
Just gonna have
May?
to get a whole Orion Army behind you, like she said.
Matthew, you got to look at it this way. You got to have an SPL and an SQ vehicle.
That's
gotta have
100%. That's
Someone's got to have
100%.
SQ, SPL. So you're at 6. You know, it makes
Hey,
sense. And as long as you got a 5th wheel, hey.
Mike, if you haven't tried Rich Hillman, I would suggest Rich Hillman. He is the Orion amp wizard. Seriously backed up with time, but he is the best when it comes to the Orion gear.
Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
The way you lean back.
I've had good results also with Jay Pritch. He did me right last time that I needed an amp repaired when Rich couldn't get to me. So both of those two, they do pretty well.
Didn't mean to wake you. I was just trying to charge your phone. Sorry.
Yeah, I would speak highly of Rich. He's on a lot of the forums about cleaning up amps and taking care of them. He is top notch from what I read about him as well. I've never met him or talked to him, but I can't say I've ever seen a bad review of anything he's ever done.
I mean, I'm in the group chat with him on the team. He's a beast when it comes to all the technical stuff.
Mhm.
And I mean, absolutely, I would trust him. I also have a 1 of 1, which is not here. It's currently at his place getting full service done to it. It's the wife's mids and highs amp. It's a 1 of 1 purple Moon and Stars 250 SX. So it was custom anodized for a dealer back in the early 90s before they swapped logos to the new, to the current Moon logo. And it's a pretty special amp, and I wouldn't trust it to just anybody.
Right. I've had plenty of amps come back playing great, but the case is still all scratched up and new dents and dings here and there. And it's like, oh, man. And I'd pride myself in taking care of everything. Get a little smudge on something, and I'm over there scrubbing it off, polishing it out, trying to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
One little scratch that I know I didn't put there, and it's over.
Yep. It's the heartbreaker. I was talking to the wife earlier. We were moving the NT200 around, and I was like, I don't even like handling this amp. Let my hand syndrome get away from me, and I'm holding this one, and then it's a problem for sure. I cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they would like to ask or discuss with any of the gentlemen here with us tonight? Because we're running a little long tonight, and I am sure everybody is ready to have some dinner.
Yeah, they tired of my face for sure. You get to see it later, though.
The heavy hitters are already asleep for the night.
Yeah, I was just checking on her. She's out cold.
Good evening, sir. We got you some shows coming up soon. All my Alabama boys are like, where are shows?
They just drive about 10 minutes.
Like a week or maybe 2 off. All right.
I get qualified.
It's January, man.
No, you got to get your Recon certification.
Do I got to get certified to be qualified, though?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Terry that.
Oh, it's terrible. I'm going to feel bad if he doesn't certify me to qualify.
I think you need a certification for your vindication.
For the qualification?
And qualification.
Hey, wait a minute. Bubba Brewer's going to build a power wheel?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't allowed.
I hated that. It looks horrible.
We need some more power wheels in the game.
God, yes, we do. If you have children, please build one. I promise it will be the best thing you ever do with your kids.
And make sure they've seen it.
So fun.
It helps if they're actually into it, though. I've seen some out there that they build it for themselves, essentially, and the kids want nothing to do with it.
That's what happened in my case.
And you can't force it on them.
All I can do.
You can, but and then
you can put them on it, but that doesn't always work either.
All right. Well, yes, I will be in Decatur on the 6th. And there is a Dan question.
All shows you have to be at to be certified, Scott. All of them. And then even if you're not at all of them, you still have to be at all of them. So as long as I see a name on the results page, even if you were there or not, if you want to pay me $30 for a mystery score of a 110, that's somewhat legal. Again, we don't have a rule, but
No.
to be certified, show up to at least
All
5
right.
shows with your membership number for finals for next year, which we do already have posted for the first weekend of October. If you got one, you only need 4 more in the same category. So if you went to
Yes.
Assassin your first one, got to be Assassin at the next 4 as well. Got to have them all in the same class.
5 in one class. And you can qualify for multiple classes, but
Yep.
it's 5 in each.
I think in order to be actually certified, you have to be qualified in every single class
Yes.
across
Okay.
the board.
We just
It
gonna
wouldn't
hand
be a
out
certification
certain
then, but you'd be
lanes because I'm gonna
certified.
certify y'all one at a time, okay?
I'm gonna need a whole weekend.
All right,
Oh,
we got
North,
this. We're gonna certify in the lanes. You got your stickers? We're gonna get stickers.
North Dakota Legendary. If you wanted to be North Dakota Legendary, you'd get
She left
number
fries on
3. Because I got number 1, and I know who's got number 2. You
Sure.
could be the number 3 person in
You're
North
good.
Dakota with that, Scott. I know you're typing it wrong, but
All right, y'all.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and get out of here for tonight. Michael, thank you for joining us. Matthew, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
seeing all the Orion goodies.
Man, I'll show you the rest of it, but it'd take another day or so.
Hey, I'm coming to your house. I want to see all this. I'm dying to see your basement.
paper towel.
Bring
I could make a field trip.
bring a snack. It's a full trip around the warehouse.
Breadcrumbs and
I
everything.
will plan a whole day.
That's what's up. Cool.
I
Excellent.
will absolutely plan a whole day. But for everybody that joined us in the comments, we appreciate you. And as always, get in the lanes. We need y'all.
Be safe and be loud, folks.
That's right. Hey, and while we're at this, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Right.
Merry
Merry
Christmas to you guys.
or happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Ooh, Merry Christmas.
Happy Base Wars. And be
Happy
back.
Base Wars. That's it. That's what we'll go with this year. Happy Base Wars.
Send it,
All right.
folks.
We will see y'all soon. And we are going to exit with a Slamology video.
Boom.
Boom.
You've heard of the Base Wars organization. You've probably considered competing in the Base Wars organization. Friends, it's time to pull the trigger.
This is just the beginning.
Base Wars will be attending Slamology, the world's largest automotive and music festival. Yes, friends, you heard that correct. For the first time, Base Wars will be attending Slamology. This is very exciting news, so don't miss your chance to compete with us. You'll enjoy our atmosphere and our laid-back style of competing. Those of us from Slamology, Base Wars, Kicker, and Sky High look forward to seeing you at the world's largest automotive show and music festival, June 10th through the 12th at Indianapolis, Indiana.
All right. Good night.